Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's break down the brand new Walking Dead Season 10 trailer. Now, I know a lot of people were asking if I would do a reaction video, but I'm sick of fighting with AMC every damn year, whether we can keep it up or not, and not have it blocked in 280 countries. So we're going to drop the reaction trailer this year and go right into just a breakdown. And I'm going to go with images. I took a still from pretty much every second of the trailer, and I think we see some key pieces linking together. Let's kick it off with the very first image. We see ocean waves, which obviously, I'm assuming this takes place at Oceanside. We get a zombie washing up on shore. Really cool image with driftwood pierced through its gut. Now, throughout the trailer, I'll be connecting the Oceanside pieces, but for this one zombie, I think that is the setup shot for a problem they have at Oceanside, and I'll explain when we get to it. Next up, we got them probably traveling to the Hilltop community. We have a one-on-one with Alpha. Now, we see the same type of night shot, so I'm assuming all these scenes happen right around the same time. We have Michonne and Daryl again. It looks like it's the same exact time at night, the same fog, and this always doesn't have to be the area where they put the heads on pikes. I know some people are asking if we're going to get a new, heads on pikes border. I think the border continued, but they only had a certain amount where they put the heads on the pikes. However, the border length is going to be longer, so there's going to be more of the border than what we saw in the previous season. Again, another shot of Alpha. This is a continuation of her threat. Now, next up, we see somebody from Alexandria, one of the residents, putting a sack over their head, mocking the Whispers, maybe trying to scare kids or doing a stupid joke. They're laughing about it, and we're going to see this recurring theme throughout the trailer. It is material that was taken from the source material, but twisted and done a little different, where the citizens of the communities are getting extra paranoid and scared because Rick Grimes was not attacking and going to war with the Whispers right away. Michonne here could beautiful as ever, I have to say, but she could be looking at anything. I mean, let's be honest. It could just be a horde of walkers. She could notice the Whispers spying on them, which would be a good bet. Or she could just pretty much notice Judith where she doesn't belong. This could be anything. We have a cool up shot with the sun blocking some of the image, but I like this look here, and this is probably right around where the Whispers are. Now, we got Negan either talking to Father Gabriel or Daryl. Eugene rushing to the radio. I know it's easy to say, oh, this might be the Commonwealth, and it could be. It could be the Commonwealth or a twisted variation of the Commonwealth, and that's a community from the comic. They're not important at this time, so it might be a voice on the radio, or it most likely could be somebody from a different community that needs help. Let's say the Oceanside, for example. We got two interesting shots of Rosita. The first one is her crying, holding a baby, which, what is going to make her cry this much? Maybe Sadiq gets killed, or maybe Father Gabriel gets killed. I imagine this is Luke on the beach, Judith finding a Whisperer mask, and again, this could be what I think is the discovery that the Whispers are spying on them, are keeping tabs on them. It looks like there's sand. If you look really close, it looks like there's sand on this mask, and I do believe that this means the Whispers are either watching Oceanside or they're causing some problems for Oceanside. Next, we get a creepy image of Carol. Looks like she has a little blood on her chin there, or a scrape or scuff or something, and she appears to be hallucinating Henry's decapitated head. Sadiq isn't doing much better. It looks like he's having some sort of anxiety attack, and he dips his face in cold water. This is Michonne and Aaron, who I am dubbing, Comic Rick, or the new Rick. I love it. I freaking love it. Yes, I do. Now, they're talking about paranoia and the communities being torn apart from the inside because of the fear. In the back, I think this is one of the key things. This is also something that connects to the source material. Trade was a big thing between the communities in the beginning of the new beginning, which is confusing because in Season 9, that's what it seemed like we were getting. So Season 9 and Season 10 is kind of a hybrid new beginning where we're getting parts of the story after the departure departure of Rick Grimes, and it was like we got the new beginning with the Whispers and yada yada yada, but now we're getting a new touch of new beginning material from the comic. They're at Oceanside for trading, for bartering, getting some fish, trading some lumber, this, that, and a third. And there's also that Oceanside problem with the Whispers and or Walker problems, or training at Oceanside, and I'll explain that coming up. Silence the Whispers. In the comic, this was something they put up to strengthen the community, to tell them, yeah, we were going to fight, just don't rush it yet, because things were getting out of hand. In the show, it looks like this is graffiti, and it looks like the community, or someone in the community, is writing this to scare people into action. It does not look like this is the leaders telling people to do this. Hard to tell what's going on with Aiden. We got Lydia training here. We got just people walking, council meeting, I don't know. Negan is telling Lydia to watch her back. I'm assuming this is her going on one of the runs or just in general. And this is Lydia walking. Her and Daryl are probably having a conversation. We get a face-to-face with Negan and Daryl, and this is pretty neat. And they want us to believe, I feel, Daryl lets Negan out and then Daryl beats the shit out of him. I don't think this is Negan's head. If I had to bet, Daryl probably caught this asshole doing it, putting the Silence the Whispers graffiti up, or scaring kids with the masks in the previous scene we saw, and he gets mad and punches his lights out. We get a couple images of random stuff, Michonne walking, we got Gabriel here, we have Aaron talking to Gracie, some scenes of character building like Sadiq meeting with his son, and then we have Daryl with his dog, and Connie, his new buddy. We have people riding in the Oceanside, but we have Negan here with blood all on his face, and the next image is a bloody crowbar, and it is clearly, it's blurry, but we can clearly see that's the spiked ball hand of Aaron, or New Rick. He's on the ground, it's the same left hand that got cut off, and we can tell that's the ball hand. I don't think this is Negan attacking him in any sort of way. I think this is a twisted part of the comic storyline where Negan actually helps or aids Aaron. How he gets out, I'm not really sure. But Negan is out even in the trailer. He's talking to Father Gabriel, and this is a scene I do like. I really like Seth Gilliam, who plays Father Gabriel. I loved him from The Wire. I do enjoy this, and he walks off mad. And this is what I think comes before the scene we just saw. Aaron needs fighters. There was some event that happened. We know that because we can see bodies behind Negan in one of these images. Negan mentions he'd rather deal with the garden and bury bodies. It's almost definite that walkers got into Alexandria somehow, some way. Negan was allowed out or got out, and he helped and aided them. Aaron doesn't want to deal with them, but Father Gabriel talks him into it. And after this is when we get the scene where Negan ends up saving his life. It puts the friction on Aaron and Negan, and then after this, Negan shows that he's not a degenerate anymore, or he's not at least a threat anymore. That's a better way to put it. He's not a direct threat for Aaron, and he actually gets Aaron's back and helps him out by saving his life. The night shot of Rosita here could likely be when walkers come into Alexandria. We have the lovely Savior who's still hanging around. Ain't her name Laura in the show, but she's kicking some walker ass. This could just be on the road, on a run. It could be around the Oceanside community. There's a little walker problem going on over there. This nighttime scene with Judith, I'm guessing this happens when the community of Alexandria are dealing with walkers. Then we get some daytime ocean scenes where they're fighting on the beach. It's hard to tell if it's Whisperer connected. When I say Whisperer connected, I don't mean Whispers are there and fighting. I mean Whispers are letting little groups of walkers out. I also think this could be them training to fight the Whisperers, and this could be something they set up. And this is the image of Rosita. It's real quick, you can hardly get a good picture of it, but she's punching a punching bag. Now this is quite interesting. This is Michonne talking to a Whisperer girl, and we know there was casting news. I think her name's Thora Birch or something. I'll put a picture up, but she is likely the new Whisperer here, who is someone that's protective of Alpha. I thought that was Beta's role. To add insult to injury, she might be wearing Enid's shirt. That's right, Enid had this very similar button down blue, grayish, or light blue shirt. It's real dirty when the Whisperer's wearing it, so it's hard to tell. But if you look at it here, Enid had this blue button-down shirt when she died, and a pinkish V-neck. I'm not really sure if this dirty and tied and beaten up shirt is that pinkish V-neck. I doubt it is. Again, the stripes on the shirt, I don't feel like they line up exactly. So this could be one of those utter coincidences, like when people thought Andrea's zombie was in one of the seasons. I think it was season 4. But if this is, I think that would be a very twisted touch. And I love small things like that where you don't blatantly and openly say it unless Aiden may have recognized that shirt, but the audience picks it out. Hard to tell what Beta is doing here, but we see some images of the Whispers, and this could be them keeping tabs on or causing problems for our survivors. Back on the beach, we get a lineup of our soldiers here, and then we're back to the boat, and I think this is one of the most important images. It looks like maybe that's Daryl way off and to the left. He doesn't really seem like he's all that concerned and worried about what's going to happen. This does look like a drill. This does look like people who's practicing for large hordes of walkers, which would make sense if they're preparing at any moment for the Whisperers to attack. We see this driftwood area where it connects to the walker in the very beginning of the teaser, where he could be the introduction to walkers being a problem by Oceanside. And look at the top right. They're heading towards a boat, which again, this could be a boat that is containing a lot of zombies. And maybe a few get out through some type of hole. The one got a piece of driftwood stuck in him. He washes up on shore. This is scaring the community and the kids and yada, yada, yada. So they bring their community out. They have these shields and they clear out this boat together for practice and to make their community safer. All right, we're going to take a break here, and I'll work on part 2 and get that uploaded as soon as I can. But so far, let me know what you think about The Walking Dead Season 10 trailer, and let me know what you think about some of these images that we took a closer look at already. I'll do what I can to have the next part up as soon as possible. Thanks for hitting that like button on your way out, if you'll do me that favor, and double check to see if you're subscribed, because I'm having a ton of people tell me they're being unsubscribed, which is crazy. It's been years and YouTube still has that issue. Anyway, I'm done talking. It's your turn.